Good afternoon, everybody. It is WrestleScope Weekly. Thank you very much for tuning in. I am the Icon Jonny K. And boy, what a week it has been. My goodness. We are finally 7 days removed from opening night of WrestleMania 38. And it's been a crazy week in the world of wrestling. Lots of things to talk about today. Lots of news from all around the world of professional wrestling. Some of it good, some of it not so good. I wish it was all good, but it's just not the way things end up working out in the world of wrestling. As always, please, wherever you're watching this, please like the video, like the stream, hit the subscribe button so you can become part of this family here, part of the WrestleScope family. And if there is a notification bell, go ahead and click on it. That way you can be notified every time the show is on. Thank you very much. Hopefully moving forward, this is going to be a fairly regular time slot for this show, but I can't guarantee anything. Hey, Lucas, good to see you, my friend. Oh, you know what? We got to turn the busy light on. That's right, because we are busy and we are here. Oh, where do we start off? You know what? I want to start off with something that I didn't put in the show notes. I didn't have in the little teaser for wherever you may be watching. But that Wheeler Yuta Jon Moxley match on Rampage last night, oh my goodness. That thing was a thing of beauty. The storytelling in that match was just incredible. Yeah, it was a little bit bloodier than I had expected, and I don't think that was planned. Wheeler Yuta, it looked like originally I thought he took a cut up here, but it looked looking after the match, you could see his head. It looked like he had taken a shot to the back of the head here, and that's what got cut. The storytelling in that match was absolutely beautiful. Just how Wheeler Yuta kept fighting back, counteracting everything Moxley threw at him, kicking out of two paradigm shifts, and refusing to give up. You know, doing the stomps to the head like Brian Danielson does. You know, getting Moxley into the Bulldog choke, just so many things. And then finally passing out, never truly giving up, but passing out. And then, you know, I had called it. We were doing a watch along last night, and I called it that Regal and Danielson were going to come down to the ring. And, you know, I thought, I was kind of hoping that they were going to bring him into the fold, but I think there's going to be more he's going to have to do to earn that shot. He's going to have to, I think we're going to end up seeing Wheeler Yuta versus Trent. That's going to be the match. We're finally going to see the complete falling apart of Wheeler Yuta with the Best Friends. Maybe there will be some sort of a promo on Dynamite next week where, you know, Wheeler talks about, you know, how he took Jon Moxley to the limit, whereas Trent just, you know, couldn't do enough against Danielson. Danielson just dominated him. And that's where we're going to end up seeing a match between those two. And it'll be after that Wheeler Yuta will be welcomed into the Blackpool Combat Club, which I look forward to that. I mean, that group as a trio is going to be incredible because obviously you've got the technical skill of Bryan Danielson, you know, who can brawl. You've got the brawling style of Jon Moxley, and you've got the combination of the two plus some high flying of a Wheeler Yuta. I mean, it will all come together, and I would actually love to see them as a 5-man group. I would love to see another five. Well, and we have to go back and talk about this, that this goes back to something I talked about a couple of weeks ago, right after we saw the formation of the Jericho Appreciation Society. You know, they have Jericho, Hager, 2.0, Daniel Garcia, 5-man faction. Then you get, you know, the Blackpool Combat Club, 5-man faction. Could we see a blood and guts match? I don't think it's going to happen at Double or Nothing. It's too soon. You've got to have that slow build. It will happen at All Out. It will happen at All Out in Chicago. And if it does, I'll be darned. I need to be there to see this, because that will be an absolutely crazy match. Now, who will be the final two? Who's going to be the tag team per se that's going to be in that group? I don't know at this point. Could it be an FTR? Possibly. I don't think so. I had originally thought maybe it would be them. I don't think it's going to be them. I think it's going to be somebody that we don't have yet in AEW. Imagine, though, maybe you have. Yes, exactly. We want to challenge you to blood and guts. Yes, absolutely. I think it's going to happen. Imagine, maybe we stay with the 3-man group, but they have to bring in a tag team, a brutal tag team, a team that will do anything at all to win a match. You get the Blackpool Combat Club of Danielson, Moxley, and Yuta teaming with the Briscoes. What do you think? Book it now. You book it now. Maybe it's just a one-off. You get a couple of appearances from the Briscoes right before. Maybe it's the Dynamite right before All Out. You've got it where, you've got JAS and they're actually getting the upper hand on Blackpool Combat Club. And all of a sudden, the Briscoes come out. And they just start destroying Jericho Appreciation Society. And you get kind of that uneasy alliance between Moxley, Danielson, and the Briscoe brothers. Could you imagine that? Tony Khan, I'm giving you that one for free, okay? I'm giving you that on a silver platter, okay? I've been talking about doing a fantasy booking, and I really think I need to fantasy book this. I need to do a video fantasy booking this. But Tony Khan, hit me up in my DMs, man. It's right there for you, brother. I'm giving it to you. Maybe not your main event, but maybe your co-main event for All Out in Chicago. JAS versus Blackpool Combat Club and the Briscoes. There it is for you. There. I'm giving it right there to you. Oh, man. All right. Let's get into the news. Boy, so much to talk about this week. You know what? I think we have to kick off with this story. This is one that, in a way, kind of shocked us, but then again, didn't surprise us. We heard about an NXT talent released, and then the NXT tag team titles vacated. Earlier this week, it was announced that it was actually on Thursday. It was announced that Nash Carter, one half of MSK, was released by the WWE, and it was on the heels of all this stuff going on social media by his wife, claims by his wife, Kimberly from Impact, that he was being physically abusive, that other things were going on. We've seen both sides of the story come out here. We've heard Wes Lee's wife come to his defense, saying that Nash had been staying in their house for the last couple of months and there haven't been any issues. Other people saying that Kimberly has been, going back and forth on the story and lying about it. As I said when I did this on live the other night, I am not taking sides in the story because we still haven't heard everything. But the one thing we know is true is one of the photos that was released by Kimberly was a photo of Nash Carter basically posing with a toothbrush, giving himself a Hitler mini mustache, and doing the, the Hail Hitler, arm. Yeah, I'm not going to do it, but you know what I'm talking about. And the news came out on Friday that was the reason why WWE released Nash Carter. It had nothing to do with any allegations by Kimberly. It was all based on that photo. I think, honestly, it's probably a combination of the two. But, yeah, you go out and you do something that could be considered anti-Semitic that obviously is massively controversial. How anybody that is in the public eye thinks that something like that is okay, whether you believe in it or not, you got to be smarter than that. And Nash Carter, after just winning the NXT tag team titles for the second time with his partner Wesley, is now out of a job. They announced that the tag team titles, as WWE put it, NXT has announced that the tag team champions have relinquished their titles and there will be new champions determined on Wednesday. They did not reference MSK. They still have not, as far as I know, have not come out with an official announcement of Nash Carter being released, though it has been confirmed by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful and many other. Sean Ross Sapp was the very first one to put it out there on, I believe it was Thursday. So how are they going to do this story? I don't know. I'm not quite sure, but NXT is in a tough spot right now because you no longer have MSK, the tag team champions. You have broken up Imperium, Marcel Barthel, and Fabian Eichner, and you've moved Barthel along with Walter up to the main roster. So now you're down that tag team. What do you have left? You have the Creed brothers. I could see them doing something with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. You've got Grayson Waller and whoever his big goon is. You got those three right there. Grizzled young veterans are still floating around someplace. They're there, but you really don't have much left in that tag team division. You've basically taken two of your top tag teams, and one you split up for whatever reason. The other one, you kind of had to. You didn't have a choice. So what are they going to do, and how are they going to address it? I don't know. Let's quickly talk, too, about the call-ups. Walter got called up using his NXT name, which I'm not even going to reference here because I hate the name. They changed him from black and white to now red, and they've brought up Marcel Barthel, and he is now named, what the heck is he? Ludwig. Is it Ludwig Kranz or Ludwig Kreitzer or something? I mean, it's German, but why? I mean, obviously it all comes down to the whole trademarking thing and whatnot. And we saw it again, too, with Raquel Gonzalez now becoming Raquel Rodriguez. So you change one, Hispanic name for another one. And I don't know. I find it interesting, too, that Kayla Braxton was the one that interviewed her. And, Kayla, extremely talented. I think she does an amazing job. One of the best backstage interviewers she has. She does a great job on the bump, and she's beautiful. Okay. But you bring in Raquel Gonzalez, who, obviously Kayla Braxton is petite. She is a petite woman. You bring in Raquel Gonzalez and she looks like she's 3 feet taller than Kayla. Did they do this on purpose to make Raquel Gonzalez look like the female version of a giant? I think that's why they did that. I really think that's why they did that. But I don't know what are the initial plans for her. I don't know what the plans are. How soon until we see her in some sort of a weird Franken tag team, much like we've seen with so many others. And speaking of Franken tag teams, where's Shotzi? Where the heck is Shotzi? We haven't seen her since, I want to say either right before or right after Elimination Chamber. Where is she? She's still posting stuff on Instagram, but she's gone. She had a mini push there, then she got a heel turn, and then all of a sudden she's gone. What happened to Shotzi? I don't know. So exactly, Red on SmackDown makes no sense. It really makes no, because it's the blue brand. It really is the blue brand. But he is a heel. So, and it was good that we got to see Walter be Walter with the way he wrestled in the ring. But I just get this bad feeling that we are going to get a watered down version of Walter on the main roster. We are not going to see the guy that was dominant in Progress, the guy that was extremely dominant in NXT UK. As soon as they changed his name, they watered him down. And it's terrible. It really, truly is. So let's go ahead and stay with WWE here. And I want to follow up on something that I started talking about on Tuesday. The Raw after Mania has typically been an incredible show with surprise appearances, returns, everything else. We didn't see that this week. Yeah, we saw a good promo from Cody and some interaction with Seth Rollins. We saw that. We finally saw the return of Veer Mahan. And actually, it was a pretty good return. I mean, he came in and he completely destroyed the Mysterios. So they're making him look like a monster heel, and he's obviously going to look like that even more on Monday when he takes on Rey Mysterio. So that was okay. We had a Bianca promo, which was very generic babyface champion promo. No new challenger for her. We didn't see Becky. We didn't get Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns came out for a very blah promo at the end. It wasn't a good show. There was really no plans laid out for anything really moving forward. Nothing whatsoever. And then you look at SmackDown last night and, we get, all right, folks, we're going to be stuck with at least 4 weeks, but something tells me we're going to be stuck with an entire summer of this Charlotte Flair Ronda Rousey program. I'm not feeling good about this because everything leading up to WrestleMania between those two was horrific. It was terrible. They're both awful on the microphone. And it continued last night on SmackDown where, Charlotte, they've got to have her backstage or whatever. She can't be in the ring. And Ronda, if Ronda's going to be cutting promos, it can't be in the arena. It can't. No offense to her. She's a good talent, but please keep her off the mic. Turn her heel again, give her a manager, or give her a mouthpiece and let that person do the talking for her and let her just go out and beat the crap out of people. Okay. No more babyface promos for her, please. It's not good. Now it's been officially announced that we are going to get that I Quit match for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania Backlash. I don't understand why they did this whole thing of, well, Adam Pearce can't make the match. He's got to check with somebody else. We'll have an answer by tomorrow. Why couldn't the answer been done on SmackDown last night? Who's the one calling the shots here? Why did it have to be announced on social media on Saturday? That just doesn't make any sense. And what's the reason for her getting this match? Okay, yeah. After the ref bump, Ronda got screwed. She did make Charlotte tap, but Charlotte pinned her clean. She did. She pinned her clean at WrestleMania. Ronda really has no recourse for asking, demanding an I Quit match. She lost. She lost clean in the ring. Yeah, as a fan, I hated that outcome, but, we've seen it before. Accidental referee bumps happen. It happens. It's not like Charlotte did anything intentionally. It happened. So we got that. We got a bunch of nonsense during the show. I mean, really, Drew McIntyre now feuding with Sami Zayn. Why? He just got done with Happy Corbin, and now he's got another mid-card feud. Really? Liv Morgan picking up a surprise win over Sasha Banks going into their tag team title matchup on Monday night. Yeah, that was okay. And then the main event segment, you've got Roman Reigns coming out with the Usos. And it was supposed to be what's next for Roman Reigns. What's the future hold for him? And he pretty much said, well, you know what? I've done everything. There's nothing else I can do. I got both belts. I went to Raw and took theirs. What else am I going to do? Hey, you guys, you need 2 more belts over there. My cousins, you don't have enough belts over there. So go to Raw and go steal those belts too. And then we get Shinsuke Nakamura out. And it kind of made sense, if he would have been going after the Usos, because he came out and, his tag team partner was injured in that championship match at WrestleMania, injured, essentially by the Usos. But then Roman gives him a hug and he gets super kicked. And Shinsuke Nakamura is going to be Roman Reigns' next opponent. No offense to Nakamura, but why? What has he done to deserve that? If anybody on the SmackDown roster deserves a championship match, I would think it would be Drew McIntyre, wouldn't it? Not Shinsuke Nakamura. But maybe they just need that fill-in. Obviously, this was not the original plan, because had Rick Boogs not gotten hurt, I think the Usos still would be the tag team champions. But do you really think that they'd have Nakamura come out and basically get in the face of Roman Reigns had they lost the tag team match with an uninjured Rick Boogs at WrestleMania? No. That's why I keep saying WWE, they have no post-Mania direction right now. It's like they're waiting for the wind to shift and they're going to adjust on the fly. They don't know what they're doing. We're getting rehashes. We got Omos versus Bobby Lashley, but now MVP is siding with Omos. We're going to get a revisit of that. On Raw, we saw Street Profits and Alpha Academy again. We're getting the repeat on Monday night of Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan challenging Sasha and Naomi. We're getting something new with the Usos versus RK Bro. But we're getting Charlotte and Ronda again. It's just recap after recap. Again, we're getting more of New Day versus, what are they calling themselves? Fight Night? That whole thing. Who's going to be the third? New Day is going to have to bring in somebody else to counteract Butch. And what are they going to do with that? I really don't think. Yeah, Cody, you thought it was going to be Drew McIntyre coming out too. Well, I knew as soon as they announced Sammy versus Drew next week that it's not going to happen. Yeah, exactly. Street Profits versus RKO. If it's not that, it's Alpha Academy, because they only have 3 tag teams on Raw. Actually unifying the tag team titles, having the Usos beat RK Bro for the tag team titles wouldn't be a bad thing. Having one set of tag team championships would not be a bad thing, because there's just not enough teams to have separate brand belts. And I'm actually okay with Roman Reigns holding both top titles. You have one main champion. Each show gets their mid-card title, and you have one set of tag team champions. Same thing with the women's titles. Merge them. Have one WWE women's champion that goes back and forth from show to show and can have different feuds. I think that might be the best route to go. But who knows? All right, you are watching and actually listening. This is our weekly podcast as well. You are listening to WrestleScope Weekly. I am the Icon Jonny K. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Greatly appreciate it. Let's get into the comments here again. It's going to happen. I think they're waiting. I think it's going to be SummerSlam. I think it's going to be SummerSlam before we see Drew versus Roman. Cody, they could make Seth and Cody a tag team. That is a possibility. Well, pretty much they already have the ugly penny belts right now, don't they? All right, let's see. What are we going to talk about now? Let's go ahead and here. Let's head over to Japan for some news. A couple of things here. Sonata, the IWGP United States champion, he has had to relinquish his title. At New Japan Hyper Battle, Sonata vacated the belt due to an injury. He suffered an orbital fracture in his New Japan Cup tournament against Will Ospreay, and it's unknown when he is going to return. Sonata suggested that Hiroshi Tanahashi, the man he defeated to win the title, should just be given the title back. He should reclaim the title. But Ospreay, he was not a happy camper with that idea. He felt that he should be the champion since he's the one that put Sonata on the shelf and beat him in New Japan Cup tournament. So this led to Tanahashi coming out and challenging Ospreay for a bout for the vacant championship at Wrestling Dantaku 2022 on May the 1st. But you know what? The title ain't vacant because the Icon Jonny K is claiming the IWGP United States champion because it's a United States championship. It should be in the United States. Jon Moxley held it. Lance Archer held it. Now I'm going to hold it. So, Sonata, when you come back from your injury, you can have this belt back. But until then, I am going to claim to be the IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. But, hey, Tanahashi versus Ospreay again? Heck yeah. That'll be a good match. That will be a good match. Sticking with New Japan Pro Wrestling and transitioning to AEW, it was announced a couple of days ago that AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling have a streaming deal worked out where AEW is now going to be broadcast in Japan on New Japan World. That is exciting. They will be streaming Rampage and they will be streaming Dynamite. Not live, but on a taped basis, I believe. But does this open the forbidden door to talent exchanges between AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling? More so than we've seen already. I mean, we know we've got Minoru Suzuki. He is going to be defending the Ring of Honor World Television Championship against Samoa Joe on Dynamite on Wednesday night. I couldn't be more excited for a match. That one is going to slap so ridiculously hard. Oh my God. Wow. That is the difference between AEW and WWE. WWE would fumble the ball with this one. This match, please give them 20 minutes, one picture-in-picture break, and just let them go do what they do best. And I'm going to say it now. I'd love to say that, yeah, Samoa Joe is going to be the ROH World Television Champion, but I think Minoru Suzuki is going to hold on to it because we know that Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt, they have some plans for Samoa Joe on Wednesday night. They've got a big surprise for him, and they're going to cost him that Ring of Honor World Television Championship. That's just going to continue to build their feud, and I am excited for that one too. I am super excited for that feud because it's going to go back and forth between AEW and Ring of Honor. It's going to be great. Just super, super excited about that. Sticking with AEW, let's go to what my lead story was going to be. And it is Tony Khan going after the anti-AEW bots. And this is the tweet that Tony put out. Here, we're going to go ahead and park my championship belt back here. So Tony Khan tweeted this. An independent study has confirmed that much of the staunch anti-AEW online community aren't real individuals. It's a staff running thousands of accounts and an army of bots to signal boost them. Look closely. They're not real people. Who'd pay such a wildly expensive thing? Well, this has created a firestorm on Twitter. You have Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer getting involved in it. Let me go ahead and pull up. Let me see if I can find some of the follow-ups on this real quick. You've got Becky Lynch getting involved in it. It's absolutely crazy. Everybody that is jumping in that is all over this one. And let me see if I can find this whole feed of things going on here again. It was actually quite hilarious. Let me see if I can find him scrolling through Tony Khan's. Oh my goodness, this is going to be nuts. There is a lot. And Tony Khan was just replying to a whole bunch of stuff here about this. There are memes everywhere about it. People, Tony Khan is living rent-free in many people's minds right now. And I really wouldn't be shocked if he's right on this. If he's right that, it is bots that are doing this, and WWE's got the money to do it. I'm sure there's somebody in the background and, in their social media department that is doing this, that has been given the okay and is running with this. Should Tony Khan be worrying about this, though? I don't know. Is this really the thing that he needs to be doing? Because there's other things he could be worrying about. I don't think anybody said it yet, but I'm going to say it. Tony Khan is turning into the Donald Trump of professional wrestling. What I mean by that is, not turning this political, Donald Trump, as I like to say, always had diarrhea of the mouth when it came to Twitter. He would post everything, he would basically put all of his thoughts onto Twitter without thinking about it. He would jump into so many different fights, and he continues to do it to this day. Tony Khan does the same exact thing. He's picking up that, not the go home heat, but the go away, we're sick and tired of you heat for things that he says. And again, he's very passionate about and he believes what he says, but there is a time and a place for everything. And sometimes I think maybe you just need to shut up. Okay. Maybe there's just a time to stop and focus on your product. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Let's see. I can't, I'm trying to find the interaction between him and Brian Alvarez, and it's buried. So if you want to look it up, you can. It's actually quite hilarious, everything that's going on, but I think it has kind of gotten out of control. It really has. And there's a point in time for everything. And I just think maybe now is not the time for him to be talking about this stuff. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I did have another story I wanted to share, but here we go. Let's jump back to New Japan Pro Wrestling real quick here. Fightful Select has posted, there is good news for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Things are starting to turn back to normal in a big way for NJPW and its stars. Fightful Select has learned after 2 years since the pandemic started, New Japan has begun to get visas for talent to make their way over to Japan. They've learned of several names that New Japan Pro Wrestling has worked on getting visas for to bring them over through the next couple of months, including the best of the Super Juniors. Since 2020, travel between the States and Japan hasn't happened nearly to the level in which the company had hoped for. In fact, Fightful Select had heard of several big names that had hoped to work in Japan that were outright told no during the period because New Japan simply wasn't bringing in many new names over from the States. This will serve as a big move for New Japan Pro Wrestling, which has built up the NJPW strong brand over the past couple of years after effectively being forced to do an impromptu brand split. This is exciting news, and I cannot wait to see who some of these names are that they're trying to bring in, especially for best of the Super Juniors. Who could they be bringing over? First name I think of, actually two names I'd like to see head over that would come from AEW: Daniel Garcia and Dante Martin. I'd love to see Daniel Garcia and Dante Martin go in and represent AEW in Best of the Super Juniors. Dante Martin with some of those Japanese high flyers over there. Holy crap. Bryan Danielson, yeah, but I know he wants to go over there. I know he wants to go over there, Michael, but I don't think Best of the Super Juniors is right for him. I think he'd have to be in more of a main event kind of thing. Maybe picture this one. Tanahashi and Ospreay for the vacant IWGP United States Championship. May 1st. After that match, you get a Bryan Danielson appearance. And Bryan Danielson challenges the winner of that match for the IWGP United States Championship. What do you think? I kind of like it. I'm telling you, I should be a booker. Doggone it. I need to be a booker somewhere because I come up with some pretty doggone good ideas, don't I? Maybe I'm patting myself on the back too much. Maybe I'm getting a little bit too full of myself, and it's not because of the lunch I ate. But that's exciting news for New Japan Pro Wrestling that they're opening the doors back up again for the Gaijin, for the foreign stars to come in again. And that is right. That Fightful story is correct. That NJPW Strong has been a great addition to them, where they've been able to do so much over here in the United States, and keeping the New Japan Pro Wrestling name really relevant here in the United States. That's why I'm beginning to follow it even more now. Not as much as I'd like to. I need to spend more time watching New Japan Pro Wrestling and getting caught up on it so I could talk about it more. But I'm excited for it. All right, let's see. What else do we have left to talk about here? The other story I want to get into, and this is a really tough one to talk about. And this one has been kind of buried. I don't know how many people have really been talking about this one. But Major League Wrestling, MLW, had something happen not that long ago that actually it was last weekend. And this story, where did I pull this one from? It was from Fightful Select also. An MLW angle devolved into what was almost an all-out fight. Wrestling Observer reported the news that La Park, WCW's La Parka, and his sons were all fired from MLW on April 1st, following them getting outright irresponsible during an angle. They were told that during a post-match angle, La Park and his family attacked Jacob Fatu in what was a planned angle. However, real punches were thrown by Park, El Hijo del La Park, and La Park Jr., followed by a dangerous chair shot. Alex Hammerstone, the MLW champion, was said to recognize this and went over to try to help, getting cracked with a chair in the process. They are told that backstage, Hammerstone was ready to fight all three, with the two sons angling off the 56-year-old Park. Davey Richards, who was an ER doctor, which I didn't know, tended to those who needed it, which they're told was invaluable to the situation. Those in the MLW locker room and on staff have told them that Hammerstone and Fatu handled it about as well as possible, given the circumstances, and that Park's family were lucky to not have it pursued that far. Nobody has been able to conjure up, I'm missing a quote in here somewhere, but nobody has been able to conjure up a motive for the attack besides that maybe La Park was teaching his sons to be intimidators, and that he's long felt slighted for how he was portrayed in WCW. I don't know. I mean, he was given a pretty good push. You know, he's a very popular character in WCW. I don't get that one. He often looks to protect himself on U.S. shows. They've also heard that from other talent who said that Park tried to shoot on them years ago, but they've heard of no other issues between Park and MLW until March 31st. After sleeping on it, MLW owner Court Bauer fired the entire family. LaPark was said to have been apologetic during that conversation, but told people in Mexico that he devolved because he couldn't speak good English. Upon finishing the article, Fightful had spoken to Alex Hammerstone himself. Hammerstone had told them that there were some people out of place and tried to help out in a pro wrestling manner to protect the angle while making sense of everything. He says that the back of his head was split open with the unexpected chair shot to the head from one of the sons, which is what he had a problem with. Fatu was still confused coming through the curtain, and Hammerstone said that LaPark and company pled ignorance to what was supposed to be going on in the ring. That is a rough situation to be hearing about. Anytime that wrestlers go into business for themselves, that's not a good thing. And the fact that you've got a seasoned veteran like LaPark and getting his sons involved and really almost seriously injuring Jacob Fatu and Alex Hammerstone, there is no place in wrestling for that kind of thing. I believe Court Bauer and MLW handled it correctly. I believe Alex Hammerstone went out there and Jacob Fatu handled it as best as they could. That is just a scary situation. And, you know, that's kind of that old school mentality of back in the day where, you know, you handled things the way you wanted to handle it. And if you had to shoot, you had to shoot. Well, in this day and age, there's no place for that in the world of professional wrestling. Alan Tucker, you walked into something crazy? MLW covered it up. I don't know if they covered it up. You know, the news came out. Alex Hammerstone has come out and talked about it. So, you know, there's only so much you could do. There's cover-ups in the world of professional wrestling. You know, I mean, we're seeing it right now with the whole Nash Carter situation in NXT. WWE hasn't even come out to acknowledge that they've released him. They are not acknowledging any of that with basically taking the titles away from MSK. But they're not going to bring it up because they don't want to talk about it. I get it. I understand it. Sometimes it's better, you know, it's better not to talk about things. You know, you take care of it and let it go. That's really all you can do. All right. Wow. We actually got through the news a lot quicker than I thought we would. I think we pretty much covered everything. So why don't we do this? Let's, we got a little bit of time left here. It's only been 45 minutes. Let's play a little bit of Ask John Anything. Go ahead. I'm gonna open it up here for you in the comments wherever you may be watching. If you are on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch, or TikTok, ask John anything, and we'll take a few minutes to talk about it. And Lucas has the first question in here. Well, what did I have for lunch? Actually, my wife made a wonderful homemade salad that had it was a romaine mix with peas, with bacon, sliced radishes, and hard-boiled eggs. I mean, it was just really good. It was really filling. I liked it, and I had some Ripple chips with some buffalo wing dip. So it was very good, very good. No meat in my minus the bacon bits and the salad. No meat in my lunch, but that was okay. I was very happy with it. Very satisfying salad. All right. If I could have one food for the rest of my life, what? Oh, wow. That's a tough one. It would have to be something that obviously I wouldn't get sick of eating, 3 meals a day. Alan, it could be anything. I mean, we could talk wrestling, obviously, because this is a wrestling channel, but, go ahead and ask me anything. Boy, I'd have to, honestly, Lucas, I'd have to say sushi, as long as it's different kinds of sushi. If it's one type of sushi roll for the rest of my life, I don't know if I could do that. Boy, that's a tough one. If it couldn't be sushi, I'd have to say pizza. I'd have to say pizza, because there's a lot of things you could do with pizza. You can have breakfast pizza, you can make dessert pizza. There's all sorts of toppings you can have on pizza. I'd probably have to go there because it's very, very, very flexible. Extremely flexible. Actually, there was a point in time in my life where all I ate was Taco Bell and pizza. That was my diet, Taco Bell and pizza. And the fact that I didn't end up 400 pounds is an absolute miracle. Yep. Yeah, you agree with me. Yep. Yours would be pizza. All right. I don't know. What else should we talk about? Alan, come on. You got to throw me a question here, man. You got to throw me a question. Wait, that doesn't mean you love that bank statement. The Divas are savage now. That one didn't. Have I ever wanted to be? I would love to be on the Chris Jericho podcast. I don't know why Jericho would ever have me on his podcast. That would be absolutely awesome. I would love that. There's so many things I would love to ask Chris Jericho too. I mean, I've been a fan of his since his introduction into WCW. He was that annoying guy that came in for a while, but I've always appreciated everything. B Money, who is your favorite wrestler of all time and currently? All time, hands down, without a doubt, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat has been and always will be my favorite wrestler. And I mean, I've got a list of 10, 12 wrestlers that I want to meet, before I die or before they die. Hopefully neither one will happen anytime soon. Top of that list is Ricky Steamboat, though. He was the guy that really, truly made me fall in love with professional wrestling in 1985. I'd been watching it kind of a little bit here and there, for a few years prior to that as a kid. But when I first saw him in the ring, I fell in love with wrestling and followed him wherever he ended up going. I've shared the story before. 1989, when he beat Ric Flair for the NWA World Championship, I actually cried. I cried tears of joy because I was so happy that my guy finally won a world championship. Currently is a tough one. I got a bunch of favorites right now. I actually love what Roman Reigns is doing. Absolutely love what Roman Reigns is doing. Bryan Danielson, love what he's doing as well. I think my top one is Alexa Bliss, though. It's really hard to narrow it down to one. Yours all-time Stone Cold and KO. So you must have loved last weekend then, having Stone Cold and KO together, which ended up being that segment of it, of Stone Cold's interaction. That was great. It truly was. Favorite thing to do in Wisconsin? Mine is fishing. I love fishing. I wish I owned a boat. I did own a boat and had to get rid of it because it sucked, but I love going fishing, either by myself, with my older son, with the family. It's just one of those things. I love being out on a boat on a quiet lake and just casting a line, and whether you're catching something or not, you're just being out there and enjoying it. Have I ever been to Minnesota? Yeah, a couple of times. It's been a long time since my last real prolonged visit to Minnesota. Actually, it's been 20 years. I've driven through a couple of times. Don't get west all that often. Don't get west of where I'm at very often. So I do want to go back, though. I had a couple of friends that are travel YouTubers that were just up at Mall of America again, and I really want to get back up there again. Really want to get back up to Mall of America again. I actually have a friend that lives not that far from Minneapolis that, want to go pay a visit to her and her husband, and, Twin Cities wouldn't be that far after it. So there might be a road trip this summer coming up. We'll see. Possibly. Yeah, B-Money. Yep. That was an awesome match between Stone Cold and KO. KO played it beautifully. It was beautiful. Yeah, that was one of my favorite moments of WrestleMania weekend. Was watching KO and Stone Cold. That was undoubtedly correct being the main event of night one, because the crowd just reacted so incredibly to that. They loved it, and just like they should have. It was absolutely fantastic. Let's see. While we're waiting for a few more questions to pop in here, let me see if there's anything else popping up in the world of wrestling Twitter, just in case anything breaks. I'm still waiting, and I'm guessing if it hasn't happened by now, it's not going to happen this weekend. That I thought we were going to start seeing some post WrestleMania releases, but it doesn't look like it's happening. So how many of you do any of you watch NWA right now? I did for a while, and then they took their break and were coming back, and I haven't been able to get back into it again. I'm not sure why. I want to start watching it again. I may start getting caught up on it this week. I'm actually back working at my previous job, helping out with a project at my previous job, which means I've got 8 hours a day where I can have stuff on the TV. So I can get caught up on wrestling. Especially stuff on YouTube, which is good. And some other things. I may actually try to watch some stuff on Peacock too. I don't know. We'll see. But it'll be good to get caught up on stuff. And I can watch some of the other YouTube podcasts during the week, wrestling podcasts, which I miss being able to do that. Because with the job I was previously at for 4 months, when I took my hiatus, I wasn't able to do that. That's why I had to take a hiatus from this channel, because I wasn't able to do it. My 9-10 hour shifts, I was barely at a computer, and I really couldn't sit there and, watch YouTube. I just wasn't able to do it. But now, at least this coming week, I'm going to have an opportunity, which is going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for it. So, all right, we are coming up on we're going to be at the 1 hour mark soon. So, let me take the last 5 minutes here to talk about something. As you folks know, a couple of weeks ago, I had announced that I was doing this challenge, that I wanted to reach some milestones by my birthday, which is in 16 days, April 25th. And we've gotten a little bit of movement. We've gotten a little bit of movement, but I don't think we're going to hit any of the milestones right now by my birthday, which is a shame. I was going for 100 followers on Twitch, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 10,000 followers on TikTok. And we're almost halfway there on TikTok. We're slowly edging up on YouTube. Twitch has been slow, and I know I've got to do some different things on Twitch to make that happen. And I had said that if I reached 2 of the 3 goals, I was going to do a 24-hour stream at some point in time in May. Well, I'm extending the goal out because I am hoping to be able to make it down to Chicago for. Oh wait, no. I'm getting things mixed up here. AEW is coming back to Milwaukee in June, and I'm going to do everything I can to be at that show because I missed their very first their first foray into Milwaukee. But I'm definitely going to be trying to be at that show, and I've got somebody that maybe hopefully could come into town for that show too, hoping for it. But what I want to do is I'm going to extend my goal by a month. I'm going to extend my goal to Double or Nothing in May. And if I can hit 2 of the 3 goals, really the big 2 for me, I think 2 out of 3 is doable in 6 weeks. I really think it is. So if I can get up to 10,000 followers on TikTok, if I can get up to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube or 100 followers on Twitch, I will do a 24-hour stream sometime in the beginning of June. We got to get to that goal by Double or Nothing, by the time Double or Nothing kicks off that night. So I'm going to be working on some ideas over the next couple of days to do some things really heavily with TikTok. I'm going to be starting to do some more shorter form recorded things here on YouTube to be able to, get some more viewers, because I know, I'll tell you, this is my 39th day of doing lives, and I love doing these lives. I love the interactions, but not everybody wants to watch that kind of stuff. Some people just want those quick 3 to 5 minute videos talking about the news of the day, which I'm going to start doing some of those as well. TikTok, I'm going to start doing some more stuff for you guys too. I haven't been doing much lately. And Twitch, for anybody that's on Twitch, I'm still trying to figure that platform out. I haven't quite figured it out yet. Might be doing just a watch along of something just on Twitch. I may just do it on Twitch soon. I don't know. We'll see. But if you guys can help me reach any of those goals, I would greatly appreciate it. I've picked up a number of different followers on all the platforms in the last couple of weeks, and I thank you all so much for that. It really means a lot to me. I've said this before. This channel is a labor of love. It's a one-man channel right now. I'm hoping to be able to, partner with some other people here in the near future. We'll see. But I've been a professional wrestling fan for over 40 years. Even though I sit here and gripe about WWE and will complain about AEW sometimes, I still love it. I still love professional wrestling. I wouldn't do this if I didn't. I don't get paid for it. I don't. I do this on my own time. I pay for, whatever I'm utilizing myself, StreamYards. I use StreamYard to help with the streaming, and, I pay for that myself. I don't have anybody that's financially backing me right now. My podcast, where my podcasts are, I'm paying for that as well, for Buzzsprout. Eventually I would like to make a little bit of money with this to, be able to pay for that stuff itself and to be able to do more things. So, yeah, that's it. But I'm going to get out of here. Thank you very much. This hour flew by and we covered a lot of stuff today. But thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. The one thing I forgot to throw up here, and I need to throw it in as I am wrapping the show up today. Don't forget that the link tree is in the bio wherever you may be watching this or listening to it. You can click on there. You can see all my social media. The Amazon wish list is up there. And I'm going to be a shill. I'm going to do it. Again, John's birthday is coming up April 25th. It's not that far away. And if you got Amazon Prime, Amazon can get things to me pretty quick. So if you like me and You want to be nice to me for my birthday? I'll do a live birthday unboxing on, hey, actually, you know what? There we go. Anything I get sent for my birthday, I will save for the Raw on April 25th. And we'll do unboxings live during the Raw watch along on April 25th. What do you say? Good idea? I think we'll do that. I'll even do it, if it's stuff that doesn't get sent by fans on here, I will do it. I'll do it. Wait, which part are you going to hold me up on, Callum? Hey, I'm a little upset with you with one of your replies on Twitter to me the other day, man. Taking shots about the me and the show down in Chicago, the NJPW show in Chicago next Saturday. Better watch it. You may be put on WrestleScope probation if you're not careful. All right. But again, thank you very much, everybody. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you wherever you are listening to the audio version of this podcast. If you're watching the video, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. I will be back tomorrow afternoon. We'll see what kind of news comes out in the world of professional wrestling, and we will talk about it, as tomorrow is day number 40, 40 straight days of live streams on this channel. Whew, boy. And I mentioned this last night, day 50. Day 50 is going to fall on 420 day. Now, I don't partake in any of that stuff, but I've got somebody that says he's gonna blaze up, in honor for me on 420. So we'll let him do that, because hey, in some states it's legal. So do what you want. All right, thank you very much, everybody. Have a great weekend. Enjoy a Saturday night with no big wrestling. My goodness. After last week, yeah, hopefully everybody's recovered. We will talk to you soon, folks. Have a good one. I am the Icon Jonny K for WrestleScope TV. This has been WrestleScope Weekly.